It's official. After a 6-month hiatus following the departure of the previous contractor, the new joint Leopard Catamarans and Robertson Caine warranty team are here in Trinidad. Over the past 6 months we've been very busy, and even in the last few weeks, Nino has continued his work on the bows, Trent Tynan and I have been rectifying Liger, and Victron have been here too, going through our entire system, fixing things up and optimizing things so that we are ready when we head off to go remote area cruising. This episode is going to show you what we've been up to and what Leopard's been doing, keeping in mind that we film just about in real time. It's also going to address a rumour that's been shared with us following a slew of international boat shows. Now, none of the people currently on site from Leopard side of things or Robertson Caine's have agreed to appear on camera. And as much as I think that is a pity because of the positive way that their work ethic and the quality of their work would reflect on both companies, I do respect their privacy. That being said, I will still show you what they've been doing and give my opinions on how the work is progressing and whether or not we're actually going to be ready to launch for our intended date, which was the end of the hurricane season. We have finally received confirmation that the Leopard team is arriving in Trinidad this week. So there is going to be 4 people working on Liger. 2 are from Leopard and 2 are from Robertson Caine. They're actually already here in Trinidad working on another Leopard 45 having warranty. Today, one of the things the guys are working on is the front step. So when you go through our saloon out to the forward cockpit, we have that door and there's a step you step on. Now, there was a lot of work that happened to our front door that is just one of those things on Liger that is a whole big story that I cannot go into right now. But when the repairs were happening, there was some collateral damage to the step, so that has to come out for us to be able to fix it up properly.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's mold, I think. It's fuzzy. It's like fuzzy but thick.
Like me.
Maybe look at that.
The single bead of Sikaflex holding it all together.
It's insane. Why I suggested taking it off is because this surface here was coated in mystery chemical. So it's all peeling off. So and then the edges up against the edges of the stuff we don't want damaged. So I said, see how this is actually attached, because it'd be easier to work on it if you get it out first. The scary bit is how all the water was coming in there, and how it's all minged up.
This bit was on the face of the door frame, but obviously water's gone in from the front door and it started to rot this out. I don't know why they don't resin seal these pieces.
That's pretty nasty though, that's like mold. That looks really good. Tynan is just squaring off this piece of wood, which is what he's going to use to make that front step. This is boring. I think Chi-Chi is of the opinion that she'd much rather be at a waterfall right now or out on a boat ride than sitting here doing boat work, and I don't blame her. For anyone who doesn't know, Tynan was actually a carpenter prior to boat life, so he just absolutely loves it when he gets the woodworking project. But it is why all of our custom cabinetry looks so good on the boat. The wood that he's cutting, that is Apamat. So we chose Apamat because it has like this silvery grey quality to it, which we think goes quite well with the rest of the boat.
This is a piece of stainless that was off one of the beds. The idea with the front step is because it didn't have any stainless on the front of it to begin with, so it didn't match any of the other steps in the boat. We're going to slide that on top. I'm going to recess it into the wood a little bit, so this will come down and it will hide the teak.
Oh, so that's to hide the teak that's going to actually support the whole step.
Yeah.
I'd like to claim that we like intentionally measured that piece of stainless and bought the wood, but we didn't even have that idea until after we'd already bought the wood, and it just happens to have worked out perfectly, so it must have been fate. As well as Tynan doing his jobs, I'm just trying to tidy up, and it's kind of like a cleaning, getting ready for work to start day. So met the new guy from Leopard this morning, I've got meetings and stuff this afternoon, and need to start clearing things so he can work, because as you can see, we have quite a bit of stuff just randomly laying around. This week we'll see the conclusion of the bow art. So this is what it looks like at the moment. As you can see, it's all quite roughed up and matte. The last thing that's going to happen is a clear coat is going to be put on it, which I think is around here somewhere. This clear coat is going to go from back here all the way through to the front of the bows, and then down to pretty much where the anti-foul will start, as well as the grey line, which Tynan put back in the other day. And that is just firstly going to bring all the colour out in this, and secondly it's going to protect it. Something we've done out here that is a bit different is the grey line. Originally it goes all the way to the front. I'll actually show you that on another Leopard. Ours now stops further back, and we put a slight shape in it. The reason we did that is we just think it looks a bit cooler now that we've got the carbon strip on the front and the Liger on the side.
So we're going to lacquer over the whole thing and stop any peelage. I'm going to chase it out. I'm going to lacquer it so just past the window. It's easy to lose it there.
Yep.
I'm just getting off the dirt at the moment. I'm just got to show nothing yet. This thing's going to have a little bit. Lacquer, people! 250, 250, 500. Well, that's more than enough for the first coat. I'm just going to cover the stick up.
I'm getting Breaking Bad vibes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes!
Yesterday, I was a little bit sick, but the guys from Leopard and Robertson Caine were very, very, very busy. They washed down pretty much the entirety of Liger, and I have not seen her this white in quite a long time. The reason that they did that is now that all the surfaces are clean, they can fully assess all of the outstanding warranty issues that have been logged and also the collateral damage that's been logged. And from there, they can go ahead and fix it. So far, they have been very organised, very sensible, so I quite like that, and that's making me feel more reassured and positive about the fact that we are going to get Liger out of here with their assistance. So we'll see how it goes, but for now, very positive feelings. Let me show you just how Liger is looking at the moment. Just to give you an idea, I keep talking about collateral damage, which was done when the previous contractor was here, that these guys are going to fix up for us. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So if you just, I'm going to spin you around. Alright, so that isn't dirt. It's just all scratches. Not going to go into the whys and whos and hows that happened, but it happened. It was not anything to do with us, so that's the kind of thing that is getting fixed. It's currently 5:53, so I think we can expect these guys to roll in the next 10 minutes. Today, Trent and I are going to be tackling our starboard aft window. All of the windows on Liger were taken off as part of the warranty, the frames inspected, and then new windows were bonded in. On the hull we've got acrylic, which is the perspex, and up the top in the saloon we have glass. Now, this aft one was one of the first ones the previous contractor did. It was done last year when Trent and I were in Annapolis, and the way they did it is not the way that we wanted it done. We wanted one single bond all the way around that's nice and thick, and then you backfill from there. They did a bond line, rubber, and a bond line, and the problem with that rubber is it can stop the actual sealant from curing. The other thing is that when they backfilled that window, they didn't actually clean it. So in between the backfill and the bond line, there's all this dirt and dust, and it didn't adhere. And we grabbed it the other night, well, Tynan did. He grabbed it, pulled it, and this whole strip just came out. So rather than trying to dig all that backfill out and do it properly, we're just gonna pull the window and redo it. The other two things that are happening today is that Tynan is going to be looking at our new rudders, because again, like everything with Liger, very long story, but we had stray voltage, and one of the casualties of that was our rudder posts, so the rudders are being replaced. But when they come, they are just gel coat, so we're going to look at prepping them all up, getting them ready, and one of them has a little repair that's needed on the tip. And our new chain will be coming today, which I will tell you more about when that actually gets here. Just waiting for the phone call from the broker to say he is on his way.
Now I'm just going to clear this bench and get our new rudders out and just go over them and prime them and basically get them ready, so when the boat gets lifted to do the keels, we can drop the old rudders out and stick the new rudders on.
With our rudders, one of the things is that to drop them, we actually have to lift the boat up with the trailer. The reason for that is our rudders just happen to be on top of concrete. Just not much, but enough that you can't drop them. To prepare for the work, we cleaned down a bench and wrapped it in plastic to ensure there was no grit or grime that could cause problems while working on the rudders. This ginormous tarp was on top of the rudders in a ball, so we're just going to fold it up before we get to the rudders. So I meant to put the camera on time lapse just then, and I put it on slow motion by accident. So I hope you enjoyed that.
One at a time?
Yeah, one at a time. I don't have the space to do two.
After wiping the rudders down, Tynan started preparing them for barrier coat, but that all came to a halt when a plug of sealant fell out, leaving a hole to the inside of the rudder exposed. Rather than replacing it with sealant, Tynan liaised with Nino and the Leopard team leader to check that his epoxy and trop strand fix idea was the right way to go before getting to work. As his crewmate, it's times like this where I'm pretty grateful that he's paid attention during our completely unintended boat building course.
Stop sharpening a minute to get chips.
Alright, let's have a look. Have plastic. So this is a stainless steel Promox chain. I've been a bit sick this week, so it's hard to express how exciting this was, but this chain is so awesome that it deserves its own video. After a bit of lunch, Tynan got back to the rudders, this time repairing a chip out of the end, while Trent and I headed out the back to start the window. Yep, you ready to get this off? So you're going to be using silicone spray and these airbags off Amazon, which are awesome for this, and just a couple of scrapers.
Keep the blade lube. That's the key to it.
Because I've got 48 volt, all the terminals are tiny. I want to get out of here. Thanks. Oh, you on my...
The instant you got up...
Who's up?
You're so funny.
So if you come around here, you can see the rubber that was never meant to be in there that prevents the bond line from setting. So you've got soft non-set because it can't set from the side that the rubber's preventing air from accessing. So this side is a bit harder, but it's still the same shit.
I just never should have had rubber in it.
So you got tape in the bond line. Is it there? There was shit in the bond line here, that dust. See all the dust in the bond line?
Now though, it's time to clean it all off so we can do a reinstallation later. After pulling the windows, it needed to be cleaned. I got started on the frame, which was then kindly finished off by the Leopard team, in between them working on things like the saloon skylight, chain locker and gel coat repairs. Trent then cleaned it, but in the meantime it turned out that the frame itself had a gel coat problem, so you and I are just going to have to wait till next week to see how that one goes. Some feedback we've had from recent boat shows from people who were involved and were there was that some people who had brand connection made a few comments about us that don't reflect the reality of the situation. One of the topics that we were told that was discussed was the monetary offer that we were made by Travelopia last year, which came with strings attached. Now at the time we explained our reasoning for rejecting that offer, and in hindsight we absolutely did not regret that decision. While they verbally agreed to finish repairing the boat regardless of any agreement, it did take away our ability to be completely transparent about our experience and talk about the things that we found, and ensure that they are meeting their obligations, whether that is for quality, warranty, or even customer service. The defects and structural issues on our hull turned out to be significantly more serious than what we knew at the time that that offer was made. And unfortunately there is no one in Trinidad who would have been able to repair what happened. It needed to have people who were specialists in their field liaising with the builder, with Robertson Caine, to come up with tailored and appropriate fixed procedures for that problem. The cost of repairing our hulls, from all the information that I've seen, has well exceeded 4 times what they offered at that point in time. Now I don't think that was all money well spent, in my opinion, but it clearly demonstrates why it was not sensible to settle at that time. Our position is, and has been for a long time, that the boat needs to be repaired or very close to repaired before we can come to an agreement, so that the entire picture can be looked at and all of the hardship, the stress, the financial cost and the time can be accounted for. That is everything for this week's episode. If you want more content, there's always our Patreon where you get exclusive updates and behind the scenes access. Otherwise, next week's video we will show you what else we've been up to, what the Leopard team have been up to, and let you know how we think we're progressing for our latest intended launch date, which is the last week of November, ready to set sail in December.